Hi everybody, it's Carrie. Getting ready to start week 3 on the Wahls Protocol. And for those of you who don't want all the details, I'll just tell you that this was a rough week for me, and so there's no real new significant anything you're going to see that's changed. So if you want to tune out now, you can. And for the rest of you who just want to know if I can shave my armpits yet or not, no, that hasn't happened. I do try to do it, and I do it, but then somebody has to come along behind and get the parts that I miss. So for some of you, that's too much information again, but for the rest of you, those are the questions that I'm getting when I get off of here. I will say that this was kind of a downer week for me in some ways, because I felt like all the progress that I had made in that first and second week almost seemed to be lost. It wasn't, and I definitely didn't go backwards to where I was worse than I was. However, it's like I've explained to people, it feels like I started out on one level and I was aiming for this level up here, and so that first week when I took a couple steps up and that, I thought, whew, we're gonna get there. And then it seems like we haven't even quite stayed in those places we've taken, and so that was a little frustrating for me. And by that I mean that my legs seem to not always want to do what I tell them to do, and by telling them what to do, I mean in my brain I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to walk over to the kitchen, and sometimes that means I'm going to go from here to the kitchen, but other times that means that I'm going to stop at places in between that I never planned to stop, because that's where my legs have decided to take me. And for those of you who know me well, you know that that happened at time to time, and we just kind of made a joke out of it, and I would say hello wall or picture or whatever it was that I would walk into. And so I've had some of those kind of days this week. I also had a day, I'm going to say it was Thursday, I'm not sure, but I think it was Thursday, where I really had a big kind of meltdown, because I felt like, again, here I was on, day 16, and I'm making that up because I don't have any idea what day that number that would have been, but say it's day 16, and I'm eating broccoli and cauliflower again, and I'm not finding any salad dressing that I really like, and I've had my third smoothie of the day, because that's an easy way for me to get my leafy greens in, and that kind of thing. And so that was, I just was kind of, it just kind of hit me, like, I could go on Weight Watchers or any other diet and decide after 13 weeks that I've hit this goal or I'm not going to hit this goal, and so I'm just not going to do it anymore. This, to me, if you decide to do this, it's something you have decided you're going to do. And my husband is still very encouraging and trying to keep me motivated to do what I need to do, and I'm thankful for that. But it is hard, because he's doing the same thing with me, but he also, if he wants a certain salad dressing, he eats the certain salad dressing because it tastes good and that's what he wants, and so it doesn't get old to him. Where for me, I haven't found one that I like yet, and so that's not something I can add into my menu in the day to change it up. I am going to show you my walking today, and I'm also going to show you a couple of other things. It was kind of funny, because there's a couple little things that the doctor always has me do when I come into the office. And last week, on that Saturday when I was having a really good day, I could do both of the things, or these two particular things that she always has me do, with great ease. I mean, it was kind of funny to do them and to think that at one point they were so hard for me. But they're not as easily done today as they were on that day. And I'm not exactly sure why it's gone back and forth. And I guess for me, again, it goes back to kind of what I said on last week's video, and that is, I believe in the food. I believe in the way that the food is set up because I just think it's healthy. But I don't think the food is the one thing that's going to do it. And again, I go back to prayer and the food and exercise and all these things in combination together. And so I don't want to attribute any one thing to the food or not, because to me, that would be like me saying that I would have to blame the food then for every bad day also. If I'm going to say that the food is what has made me good on the good days, I have to say it's what makes me bad on the bad days, and that just doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm going to show you these two things because they're kind of funny to watch, and maybe as we go on with the videos, maybe I will have days when I can do them like I did the other day. I will also say to you today that I still had a rough day this morning. We went to church, and after church and everything, I still was having trouble with my legs until we pulled into the driveway and got home. And when we got home, it almost felt like I had brand new legs again. And they did everything I wanted them to, and I could walk. And that lasted for about 30 minutes. And then after the 30 minutes, it kind of went back to the wobbliness and the strange parts of it. So I'm not really sure what the connector is and what the disconnector is, but anyways, I'm not giving up on anything. I'm still going to keep on because I do feel much better. And the day that I had my meltdown and I made the comments to my husband about it, he said that, Carrie, if you could see yourself the way I see you right now, and your balance and your walking and those things, even though they may not be perfect to you, they still are better than they were. And so I trust that he's telling me the truth. There'd be no reason for him not to. Other than he just wants to kill me on broccoli and cauliflower. But anyways, so I want to show you these two. One of the things she always has me do is set my hands on my legs and just go back and forth and back and forth. And you can see that the left hand doesn't always keep up with the right hand. Now it is much better than it always is with her. Another thing she has me do is I have to hold my arms out and close my eyes and then bring my finger into my nose and just touch my nose. And I can do this pretty easily with this hand. This hand may be a whole different story, because when I think I'm going to my nose, sometimes I hit my lip or my cheek. That was pretty good though. The other thing I have noticed with my left hand, there are some things that I can do with my left hand much easier than I was able to do before. I still can't go through the drive-thru at the bank with ease and do the numbers and everything, and I really haven't gone through any drive-thrus because I haven't found a place that sells this kind of food, and so I haven't gone through a drive-thru to see how it is getting stuff in and out the window. But I will say that I can, if I set something, if there's something on my left hand, I can now grab it, and it's not perfect, but it is better than it was. Now I'm going to show you my walking, and I don't feel balanced enough to step over anything right now. I can still do that, but I am very careful when I do it because I notice when I'm getting off balance. But I'm going to show you my walking here really quick, just so you can see how that's been. Because it's still, there's nothing wrong with it. It is much better than it was. However, I will say that the more that I do, the more that I walk in different things, like say going into church or going in somewhere, the more hunched over I get, and the more I, drag my left side. So, that being said, that's my week 2 for you guys, and I will see you again next week.